Today, I'm joined by James White, controversial estate agent from Yorkshire, and he believes the best way to grow an estate agency is by being part of the community. What do you mean by that, James? Talk to me.
Chris, you know that my company is called Belong.
Yes.
When we sat down to design Belong, I sat down with a brand consultant, and Darren asked me what I wanted to get out of the new business. And the first thing I said to him was, I want the business to belong to the community. And he asked me what I thought, what really did that mean? I said, well, first things first, we've got to be heavily embedded in what goes on in our local community. Actually, that started with some high street premises in our local village, not a big town, but local village, which has a business association of 130 other businesses. We put on year-round events, Christmas markets, Santa sleigh rides. We have agricultural shows. We have harvest festivals, street markets.
Who's we?
The local business community. And so supporting all of these events was belonging to the community, belonging to the village. We were the main sponsor of Honley Agricultural Show. I see that as belonging to the community. We make charitable donations. We try to get involved in community activities. And all of that, by dint of belonging, is networking. So it's good for your business. It's good for the community. It's good for you.
But if you look at the stats, you're not the biggest estate agent in Holmfirth.
But we're not in Holmfirth. We're in a village between Holmfirth and Huddersfield. So, but does it matter that you are the biggest? Or does it matter that people...
Well, surely the size of your market share and the pie graph. Look at the size of my market share. It's brilliant.
Been there, done that, had that T-shirt many times, not interested.
Why do you think estate agents love that? Waving their big willies around saying, look at my market share.
It's a little bit sexist, but yeah, I know what you mean.
No, but you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Egotistical.
Self-centred.
Uneducated. Sometimes, not always. But why do agents double and triple board houses where they've no need to? So one in the front garden, one in the back garden, one on the street corner.
It makes them feel good.
Makes them feel good.
Do you think some estate agents, they see estate agency to serve them and not the other way around?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a valid point. Everybody's got to pay the bills, though, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
So you can't begrudge anybody making their best effort to try and run the best business that they can. And if they see that as being double boarding, triple boarding, if that's what they want to do, that's how they advertise their business. Let them do it. It's against the Town and Country Planning Act, mind. But going back to your question about why is it important to belong to your community, because you can become a trusted partner within that community if you're seen to be part of the community.
But it's interesting because, as you know, I always do my homework on my guests. And a couple of years ago, you went down the self-employed estate agency model.
Yep.
And I think it'd be fair to say that probably, you've said this to me off camera, you probably took your eye off the ball by being in your estate agency.
Yep.
But I've looked at your market share in the last 2.5 years, and it has grown by 50%.
Yeah.
By not focusing on your self-employed model,
That's right.
but by actually adopting the principles of being part of the community.
Belonging to the
So this stuff does work, doesn't it?
It does work, yeah, absolutely. Did we take our eye off the ball? Yes, we did. Were we sidetracked? Did we try? Actually, the point is we tried to do too much. So when I established Belong, I always established it as a brand to be shared. And we didn't go down the self-employed route. We went down the franchise route at the same time that the self-employed route was really born.
To be honest, it's the same bloody thing.
It isn't, because franchise is ownership of your own business. So in our business, if you wanted a franchise of Belong by Chris Watkins, you would own that business 100%.
Yeah, I've still got a franchise agreement with you, though.
You've got a franchise agreement, but you would have something
Okay,
that you
but
can
let's
sell.
be honest,
But
yeah,
you would have something you can build.
Estate
and you can
agents
sell.
are not worth anything at the moment.
They are if they build a good lettings book.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's right.
But we said estate agents.
Estate agents are worth something if they belong to their community.
Okay.
If you have a brand that sits within the community, why do estate agents get bought and sold all the time? Because some are strong brands within that area. Let's look at Connells for a moment. Connells have various brands under their umbrella brand, don't they? They haven't sought to change what's strong within those communities. They aren't all called Connells Estates. They recognise that there is value in belonging to the communities. And I think that's really important.
let's just say there's an employed valuer watching this video. You know, they're not the boss. Not quick wins, but what can they do if they're an employee and they want to get involved in the community?
Well, should we say join the Masons?
You could do if you wanted to.
Do you know anybody who's made a success out of being a Mason?
Well, I'm happy to declare, everyone knows I am a Freemason, but it's frowned upon to use it as a business generation.
So part of my community is also I'm a member of a golf club.
Okay.
That's part of my community. I belong to that community. So reach out into your local area to find something that interests you and belong to that activity, belong to that community, and then it will grow from there.
It's very interesting. There's a very well-known estate agent called Tony Ruby, and he interviewed local shopkeepers, even on Zoom, before, and put them into local Facebook groups, not shared, posted. And when he left his own estate agent, his employed estate agency, within a few months, he was number 3 estate agent in Grantham.
Brilliant.
Because he was part of the community.
Reached out to the community, yeah. Yeah, Michelle Gallagher, she used to interview local businesses, didn't she?
Yes.
Made a real success of that.
I wonder who told her that.
Don't know, do you know him?
No, I don't know. Could be a she as well. It's called Digital Mayor.
But it all works.
Of course it does.
It's been part of the local setup.
Definitely.
And that's really, really important. One of the things I wanted to do about 20 years ago, I'd had an office manager who'd been in place 15 or 20 years in his local branch. And I reached out to my partners and said, why don't we put his name on the front of the office? And their response to that was, well, he'll just leave and start his own business if we do that. But actually, I thought the other way around. I thought it would have embedded him in the business even more and made him part of the community. So I think there's some mileage in that. If there's a really good valuer in a satellite office, or it might even be the number 1 office, almost give them some ownership of that.
Bob Smith, powered by
Bob Smith, son, junior, Chris Watkins. But yeah, absolutely. So Belong by James White.
Thank you for your time today, James.
You're welcome. Been great to be here.